guys, and welcome to my channel, and hello if you're new. My name is Amy and I'm currently pregnant with my first child, and I'm currently documenting all of my weekly updates on my pregnancy so far, and I'll be doing that right up until I give birth. I'm currently just starting my 26th week, just to give you an idea of kind of where I'm at. So if you enjoy these types of videos, definitely subscribe if you're new here. Obviously if you've clicked on this video to find out more about a 4D scan, then I hope that you enjoy this video and enjoy other videos on my channel. And hello if you've been watching my pregnancy updates up until now. In my last video I did mention I would do a standalone video all about my 4D scan experience because there's so much to talk about, and I didn't want to like populate that video all about this because people might not be interested about it as much. So I try to keep those weekly videos as concise as possible, but where I can I do try and, you know, talk a bit more about things in separate videos. So that's kind of where we are and why we're doing this video now. I touched on the reason why I decided to do a 4D scan, but I'm going to go over everything as like why we did it, where we went, the price, what we thought of it, and I'm also going to show you some video footage of the 4D scan itself. So it's going to be a really nice video, and hopefully if you're unsure whether to get a 4D scan, this helps you decide, or if you have booked one but you're just looking, you know, at other people's 4D scans and just curious to see what other people thought, then I hope this video is one that you enjoy. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So first of all, the reason why we decided to do the scan was because I knew someone at work who had two friends that were told that they were both having girls at the hospital, where I was told that obviously I was having a girl, but then they both went on to have boys. And for me, obviously as soon as she told me that, I was just riddled with anxiety because I thought, I don't want to buy stuff, I don't want to get too bonded to the child and then it be different. When we found out the gender, I really wouldn't have minded either way, but I think once you're told that you're having a specific gender and then it is actually the other, you will just be so confused on how to feel, and any association I guess that you had with that child would have gone. So that was like one of the most initial reasons as to why we decided to do the scan. Another thing that kind of helped us decide it was right for us was because Rich's like best friend has just had a child, and he mentioned that when they were pregnant they went for a 4D scan at the place we went to, and he just said it was like the most amazing experience. So that kind of convinced Rich a little bit, because I had said to Rich that I really wanted to do it to get like gender confirmation, and he was like, don't be silly, they're not going to have got it wrong. But in my head I was just thinking that the girl that I know at work knows two people that was told girl and then had a boy, and I would just hate to be that person. Like I just thought, I just need confirmation. But as soon as Rich was told by someone else it was really amazing and that they would recommend it, I think that helped him be convinced that it was what was right for us. And also his friend mentioned the fact that when his child was born, she looked so much like the 4D scan. So we decided that that's kind of what we were going to do, and yeah, so it went from just like an idea. For me, I just wanted real confirmation, and for Rich, I think it helped him. The idea that it will help him bond with the baby was really, really big, because when we went for our 20-week scan, we didn't find out the gender, but they wrote it on in like an envelope, and then we did a gender reveal. So looking at that scan, you're not thinking, oh, that's like my baby girl or my baby boy. So we had no association. Whereas this was the first time that we were going to a scan and we were thinking we have a potential name, we have the potential gender, and it made it so much more real. So that's basically why we decided to do the scan. So in terms of kind of pricing and where we went, so we went to a place called Window to the Womb. We went to our local one. I say local, it isn't local at all. We had to drive about an hour and a half to get there, but that was in Exeter. But I know that they have several different Window to the Womb clinics all around the country, and I've watched other videos where people have said that they've had a very similar experience as to what mine was like. So if there is one that's kind of local to you, or unlike me, you don't live in the middle of nowhere and you actually have one a lot closer, then for you this might be even more of an option. I was always skeptical that it wasn't just the price of the scan, it was also getting there, and it just made it more than what it was. But that said, I was just scrolling through Facebook, and obviously I had searched into like private scans and 4D scans, so I was targeted by an advert from Window to Womb Exeter, and it was like £50 off a scan, a 4D scan. So instead of like instead of 149, 139, we actually got it for £89, and that didn't seem too unreasonable. Obviously, I still had my slight concerns that spending £89 on a scan, that is just real confirmation for us. Like, it doesn't provide us anything more, whereas we could buy something substantial for £89 for the baby. But we both decided it was what we wanted to do, and you know, I like, looking back, I would pay that over again to have the experience that we had. But at the time, you know, money is money, so you almost feel guilty spending it essentially on yourself, where you could spend it on the baby. But it's definitely helped us bond with the baby, and honestly, it was just like the best experience. So for £89, we had a package that was worth 150, say, and with that we got loads and loads of things to take away, and we had a really good scan experience. And so I'm going to talk about that now. So when we got there, we actually got there like half an hour too early. The reason for that was that the weather was so bad, and it was like terrifying driving there. So me and Rich left with like plenty of time for the traffic, and we know what people are like obviously we had to go on the motorway, and it was horrible rain, and we just thought we'd rather be like slow and not get caught up in anything. There's nothing worse than going somewhere and then being slightly late, and then it's horrible weather, and it's just quite dangerous. So we allowed plenty of time. So we did get there half an hour too early. We could have just kind of moseyed around, but Rich really needed the toilet, so I said, well, no, let's go in. They know that we're there, so it doesn't matter. And if we just can wait inside in the warmth and out of the rain, then that's a bit of a bonus. So we got there really early, and obviously they kind of said, well, if you're happy to wait in the waiting room, which we said absolutely, we know that we're super early, but Richard really needed a wee, and we just thought it's horrible outside. They were like, no, fine, go make yourself comfortable in the waiting room. So we were kind of waiting there, and they had like a gallery of like the 4D scans versus when they actually kind of came out and were birthed, and the resemblance was amazing. Like, even just looking at those, it made me so excited for the scan. They said to have a full bladder going in because it helps kind of push baby, like, I guess it goes in towards your pelvis when your bladder is empty. So I actually went to the toilet when I got there because I was so desperate, but because I knew that we had like a half an hour wait, they had a cold water machine, so I had like, I think probably about 5 glasses of water, but it was cold water too, so that even helped to get baby moving a bit. So we waited around probably for about 20 minutes, and then they called us down and went through our package. So in the package, I think we had like a VIB package, which is like very important baby, which basically means that you get a 15-minute scan. You also get a video of the entire scan that you get to keep, and you get all photos on an app, which I have downloaded on my phone, and I just tend to look at them all the time. You also get 2 like large prints of the any photos of your choice, and you get, I think it was like 8 or 10 6x4 photos, which is great for us because we have lots of family members that kind of want their own photos, so we got quite a lot of them for them because there's only so many 4D photos we're going to kind of put up and around the house. But we also think it's going to be really nice to put them in a photo album, and then it starts the album off like before they're born, and then we can show them that, and how weird will that be for them looking back. So you got loads with it. I'm trying to think what else. You also got like a gift pack which had like a bottle, a dummy, some like booklets in it. So it was really, really good, and I think that for the price, like for our NHS scan, to get 2 scan photos, it was like £5. So it's like the photos themselves have paid for themselves, like, and paid for the scan. But honestly, it was just so good. So you get all of that. The biggest thing to look out for is the time of the scan, because obviously with the photos, if you got them on an app anyway, you can print them off at home. But really, the longer the scan, the better. And 15 minutes is a really good time. So we were called down, we went through the package, we kind of paid, because you pay £20 deposit when you book to like reserve your slot, and then we just paid the rest when we got there. And then they let us know that the sonographer was ready for us, and then the sonographer also had like an assistant, which I thought was actually a really nice touch, because when she's talking through things, the assistant almost reassures you or kind of explains it in a way that, if I guess they can read you a bit better. So if Rich is looking at the screen like, I don't know what she said, then she kind of reiterates it in a different way, which was actually really helpful. And it meant that you weren't asking any questions, you could just really enjoy the experience. So when like they did the 2D scan and got confirmation of the gender, because as soon as we went in they said, do you know the gender? I guess some people were going in there like not wanting to know. So we said, we do, but we just want confirmation. And she said, no worries, I can do that like right away for you. So they first of all check like the well-being of the baby, because if something's wrong they let you know, or if they pick on something that's like not quite right. So they checked everything: heart, kidneys, liver, brain, and they also played the heartbeat, which was the first time Richard ever heard the heartbeat, which was really special. He loved it, and we've got like a photo of what the heartbeat was, and Richard said that would be really nice to turn into a tattoo, so he might do that whenever. But yeah, it was really nice for him to hear the heartbeat, and he was just like, oh my god, like, and obviously it's so fast, but for someone that doesn't know that babies' heartbeats are so fast, he was like, that's so good. I think he was just getting really, really overwhelmed. So they started with that. It was all kind of 2D to start with, and we got gender confirmation. She went right in there checking the little genitals, and she gave us a potty shot, which is something that we didn't have on our 20-week scan because we didn't want to know, but I wish that we had got. So that was amazing. So 100% a girl, which is like music to my ears. So then they tried to go basically 4D, which is basically just a 3D image of your baby, but our little girl was facing the wrong way, so she had her face down, and she also, as they kind of went in 3D to like make sure or see what they could see, she had her hand over her face like this, and all you could see was an ear. So they said, that's no good, you know, she's not cooperating. So what you should do, go upstairs back in the waiting room, jump around for like 10-15 minutes, and then we'll basically try again. And I said, okay, like, it was nice to know that even though the baby was being awkward, they weren't making you feel like that was a problem. They were like, don't worry, we get this all the time. You just need to like jump around and hopefully baby will flip over basically, or we'll get a better shot. So I said, okay, so I'm upstairs in like with a full bladder, just jumping around. But by jumping around, it basically got her to move, and luckily she moved enough so we could get a clear facial shot the next time. So they came back up like 15 minutes later and they said, right, let's try again. And they went kind of 3D straight away. And oh my god, you could see so much. You could see her nose. She's got Rich's little button nose. And she's also got Rich's ears, and you can just tell. But what I will do is I'll insert some footage here of what the scan was like and what we could see, just to give you an idea of just how much detail we could see for being 25 weeks, I think 3 days at the time. So how amazing was all of that details? I am just like absolutely overwhelmed with that video. I just love watching it. Like, I'm just sat on the sofa with like put a film on, I'm just rewatching the scan. So it's amazing that we can watch that back. And I showed up like my parents and I sent it to Richard's mum and dad, and they both were just like so overwhelmed. My dad started tearing up. And then we also got loads of amazing photos that were taken during the scan. So I'll insert a few of my favourites here as well for you to see. When she was also doing like the 2D scan bit to make sure that like everything was okay, she also mentioned that she could already see hair on the baby, which you just think that is mental. And it explains the fact that I've been getting some heartburn recently. It's only been mild, but I have been noticing it if I've been eating like too quickly or eating certain foods. I've definitely felt a bit of heartburn, which is something I've never had before ever in my life. So apparently, obviously, when you get heartburn, it means that your baby has hair. So she's already got some hair. So like the sonographer said, at 25 weeks and already having hair, like you're basically going to have like a hairy baby. So it's those little details that you just don't see in a 2D scan on the NHS. It was just so amazing. And yeah, just everything was perfect. The heartbeat was perfect. The growth was perfect. The pictures we got, the video we got was just perfect, and she just looks like the most cutest baby ever. So all in all, it was just the most amazing experience ever. Like, I don't know why I ever doubted that it wouldn't be as amazing as it was, but it really honestly was so good. The ladies that ran the clinic were just so nice. They made you feel so welcome. They, you know, they were genuinely interested in kind of your baby, your pregnancy, how it was going. They were complimentary of how the baby looked because she is already like a stunner, and they were just so nice. It just made you feel so at home, and it was just such an amazing experience. And I think for £90 to get all of what we got was just fantastic. And the fact that they did a rescan, were like, it doesn't matter, start jumping around and come back in a minute. There was just no like rush with it at all. I feel like, again, with NHS ones, you know, you're kind of in and out. But with this one, there was no sense of that. It was just so welcoming, and it was just amazing. And I would 100% recommend it to anyone. I was so sceptical, and I don't think I would have wanted to have got one if I didn't like hear the stories about people getting the gender wrong. For me, I always saw that Facebook meme where they said like 4D scans look like lasagnas, and I was like so put off because I was so worried that, I don't know, like I wouldn't associate with it, and there was that real worry of like bonding. But honestly, it was the most amazing experience. Rich and I just look at the photos all the time. We also got, I forgot to mention, key rings and magnets as well. That's in the package. So you're constantly reminded of the little face, and just little features like knowing she has hair. Like, you would never think that this early on, but she does. And it's those little details that you can just start imagining, and it starts, because obviously when you're getting bigger, you don't really have like any association as to what they actually look like, because obviously you get 2D scans and they're very outliney, and my 20-week scan looked slightly petrifying and she looked a little bit like an alien. So to have got this scan and actually saw like human features was so amazing, so amazing. And I'm so happy we did it, and I would just recommend it to everyone, especially if you can get a deal as good as ours. But even not, like, I just thought it was like so good, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Looking back, I don't think that it was a lot of money for what we got. The video alone was just the most amazing thing, and we can watch that, and basically all you have to download is an app called Bumpies. So they're all on an app, so I can literally have them on my phone. If I just turn my brightness up a little bit. So they're all on an app called Bumpies, and then you just go to scans and download your scan photos, and they give you a unique code, so you just enter it there and it downloads all of your photos and your video, and you can scroll down. As you can see, we got so many. But yeah, it was so amazing. It's really helped me bond with the baby. So even just looking at her, we're like, does she suit the name? She definitely looks more like Rich at this stage, and I just hope that she continues growing these little cute features. And yeah, it was so amazing, and I would recommend it so much. I'm so happy we did it, and I'm almost glad that I was told horror stories about people getting the gender wrong, because without that I probably wouldn't have done it. So yeah, I hope that helps anyone thinking about getting one, because I would honestly recommend it to everyone. I really would. It was so good, and I just can't believe we've got it, and we've got all these beautiful photos, and yeah, it was just the most amazing thing. I get even lost for words thinking about it, and it's definitely been the highlight of my pregnancy. It was just so lovely, and when we both came out, we were both just like, oh my god, that was amazing. And then we went to Nando's and just spoke about our little cute girl the whole time whilst I was eating loads of chicken, which is pretty standard. But yeah, it was so good. I would recommend it so much, and I'd love to know if you're thinking about getting a 4D scan, or if you've had one, what your experience was, or if you've got one booked and how long it is until you have it, because it was so good. I don't know what else to say other than just go for it. You will not regret it. It was honestly amazing, and yeah, I'm so happy we've done it. I don't know if we would do it with a second baby, so to have that experience on our firstborn, I think we're just so excited for her to arrive now, and yeah, it's just made it all so much more real. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you. If you have any extra questions, do let me know down below, because I have a habit of forgetting to say certain things. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have done so, and don't forget to subscribe if you like baby update videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.